Hi, welcome back to the Mother You Know, the Woman You Don't. Thank you for coming back again. Thank you every week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are so grateful to all the people who come in every week and who tune in for our craziness. I don't know.
We still
We
don't know what we're
are,
doing, but we do it with
yeah, but thanks for coming
enthusiasm
back.
now. Yeah.
And gusto, and moxie, and
Yes.
gusto, and bravery. We come back every week, and yeah, we're better. Come back every week, and hope people join us, and every week y'all do. So we are so grateful for that. Well, we are back from the birthday weekend.
Yes.
We talked about it a little bit last week, and it was not what I thought it was. I was contemplating a wild romantic weekend that my husband put together, and turns out it was all lies. Lies, 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 lies.
Fibs.
The
Fibs.
fibs.
Just
Well,
little
he kept
fibs.
saying, Dwayne kept texting me over the course of the weekend, I'm sorry I was deceiving you. That was some big lies too, y'all. But it's not just him, it was all y'all. All y'all, my kids, including all my kids who knew everybody. So that to be said. So the actual plan was he was supposed to take me away for the weekend. We did our normal route. It was just a normal Monday or Thursday morning. We were going to, he just told me so many miles, towards the ranch. So there's just a ton of places in between our house and the ranch. You're just thinking, oh, a nice hill country bed and breakfast. It's going to be lovely, quiet 2 or 3 days. And then we were supposed to be back Saturday to go to cook off. And then we had no plans, the rest of the weekend. But it turns out it was all lies. So we got to, we stopped where we always stop, which is Buc-ee's in Madisonville, because if you're in Texas and you're traveling and you pass the Buc-ee's, you stop. It's what you do, to go to the bathroom and to grab some snacks. And that's what we did. And it turns out that that is where the deception begins. So I guess, Lydia, if you want to just talk, because I still don't know, like, when you started planning all this and what kind of how it evolved or whatever, but it was very deceitful, very
Well, the
sketchy.
planning for this started in December. Me and Melissa, your best friend, who was on the podcast last week, and we were at your ornament party, and her and I were just chatting, and I just kind of asked her, has Dorcas said anything about what she wants to do for her 50th? And she goes, no, I asked Dwayne. It's like, I asked Dwayne too, and he said he'll let me know whatever he decides or whatever. And then she goes, well, we need to do something. I said, yeah, we really need to do something. And I don't remember kind of how it all came about, but I think she said, she goes, I'm going to reach out to Dwayne and see if we can, if we can do something for her or whatever. And then like a couple of days go by and I was like, did you talk to Dwayne? And she was like, yeah, let me text him, or, no, let me text him or whatever. And I don't remember how the wine weekend came up. We knew we weren't going to do a casino because that is not your thing. That is mine and
No,
Missy and Judy's thing.
not
100%.
mine. I
Not
could
your
do
thing. I
without
was
the
like,
casino
and we're like, no,
forever.
we're not going to do a casino because Dorcas will be like, no, this is not about me. This is about y'all and y'all know it. So we kind of just landed on Fredericksburg. And then we just go into planning mode, like Missy and Judy. Everybody had their jobs. Missy was in charge of finding a house. Judy was in charge of the wine tour because we ended up taking you to Fredericksburg. And then I was in charge of getting you a bag and stealing some stuff for your house. And it just kind of became this thing. We had a group text going on where we were talking almost every day about this
That's
because
the thing. And in normal fashion, it became, because this is just Melissa's thing. It's
she,
just
I
every
have
event she plans just goes full nutbag.
190. Yes, she
Yeah.
just goes. And I've never. And what's funny is Angie, who again has been on the podcast, has made a comment about Lydia know what she's getting into planning this with you. And Melissa was like, no, she has no idea. And I was like, well, how bad can it be? And it wasn't bad.
Oh, it's
I've just
crazy.
I've never been on that side with her, and we're having like daily texts. I'm getting almost daily phone calls about, especially as we were getting closer. Dorcas is like, she knows that Melissa, she doesn't know. She has no idea what's going on. And she was so crazy about it. I was like, Melissa, calm down. It's fine. She has no idea. It's going to be great. And she just gets so hyper fixated, and it's so funny because one, she loves you so much.
Yeah, well, it becomes an obsession with her.
It
Everything,
is.
every river trip, any trip we ever take, it becomes a. I mean, she just becomes hyper focused on it, and it's just like, no, it's fine. Everything's working out fine.
Yeah.
Everything's working out fine. And it is. I think it's because it truly is her love language, those to do stuff for people. But yeah, it becomes a
Yes.
little crazy and obsessive.
And so it was planned out. We knew we were going to do a wine tour, and we were going to go to dinner and just chill, and we were going to go shopping and hang around Fredericksburg, and um, everything just worked out lovely. I said my job was to go and pack you a bag and steal your court crown.
Which I'm really glad that that was not the only bag I was taking, because you brought, like, I don't know, 4 pairs of underwear, pajama pants. You didn't even get the top to it. An old moo with holes in it that smelled. The underwear were like, you had like 4 or 5 pairs of underwear, but you went deep down in the underwear drawer and you grabbed some that your
But it
girl
was
ain't wearing anymore.
purposeful because
I
Dwayne,
know.
like, okay, I had
I
to talk to
know.
Dwayne multiple times, and I blamed Melissa. I was like, dude, your wife's girlfriend is insane,
Because
and
she
I
couldn't
have
have
to.
your good ones missing, okay?
I
That's
know.
what he
That's what he
said.
said.
Dwayne was like, where she keeps her, where she keeps her chones. I told Dwayne, I was like, I guess I need to get her some more chones or whatever. And he's like, well, he goes, she like rotates through like the same like 8 when we do laundry every week. And those are the ones that get cleaned and put right back on top. He goes,
It's because he does laundry so well. He does laundry every week. So I never, it's like the same ones end up on top.
and he goes, she's going to notice if the ones that she always wears are missing. So you got to get down at the bottom. And I just went there. There's probably like honeymoon underwear, like sexies down in
Yeah.
there and stuff, or
You went, the further down
pregnancy.
you go, that's like old school.
Yes. Those are special occasion
You
panties.
brought
Those
some
are
cheeky
not,
ones and a thong.
yes.
I'm not wearing those anymore.
Yeah. It's like, it probably says like Dwayne's bride to be. They're like 20 years old or something on there. And so I pulled those out and then I had to pack her clothes, but I didn't want to take things because he had her packing for their weekend trip the gamut, everything from fancy to casual, whatever. And Melissa was obsessed with making sure Dorcas had her boots, her new boots. And I was like, well, I don't know if she keeps them in a box. If I take them, she is going to notice. So I kept telling Dwayne, make sure she brings her boots. Make sure she packs her boots and takes her boots. He's like, all right, I heard you. And so when I went to go pack, him and I are in your closet and I'm trying to throw stuff in there. And I'm so stealthy because I like turned off my location because Dorcas gets a notice every time I end up at her house. And so I turned off my location. I go over to the house and I'm packing the bags and I'm trying to, in her closet, I'm trying to figure out what should I take to where she won't notice it's gone because I don't know what she's packing. She hadn't packed yet. And so I like picked like 2, like I said, got her some chones from the bottom, or probably her hoochie mama chones. I went through her pajama drawer and I'm like, well, what if she so I just got some from the second pajama drawer, just picked some random stuff. And then picking her clothes, I think I got like a black t-shirt, a work shirt. I got a pair of shorts that it turns out she doesn't like. And then I took
I wouldn't wear out of the house.
I took this really cute black and white striped t-shirt. And I'll let Dorcas tell the rest of that.
Blue and white.
Blue and white striped t-shirt. So that's the packing. You want to tell them about that?
Well, what's funny is when I was actually packing for my trip with Dwayne, I had packed. I probably took, I don't know, 10 outfits for 2 days because I didn't know what we were doing and he wouldn't tell me anything. And I know that he packed his sport coat and his jeans and his boots. So I'm thinking
as a ruse. Nice.
So I took a whole dress with me,
See?
like with this wrap thing, like this whole dress that was nicer for dinner. Okay, he committed to this bit. Okay,
he did.
Fully committed to the bit.
He told me, he goes, I even pulled out my sports jacket and hung it in the closet so she'd see it. So she'll think that she needs to get good clothes. He goes, I'm not wearing it. I'm just going to put it in the truck and drive it around, which is what he did.
It wasn't it?
It was.
A good strategy.
It was.
He's good at that. He's good at that.
Well, the thing is he doesn't ever keep secrets. That's the thing, is he's not a surprise guy. There's usually not anything that he's surprising me with, There's things he does that you're like, oh, that's sweet, whatever, but it's not like, this is like elaborate for him. And he committed to this bit. He was in it.
He was in cahoots. I think he liked being part of the group.
I think he did too. because he was so happy whenever we finally revealed the secret. I think the thing with the clothes is that I was so the night before I was up really late packing because we were leaving at 8:00 and we're leaving at 8. We got to leave at 8 to get what we're going to be done. Okay, I'll be ready. So I was up really late and I kept looking for this blue and white striped shirt because I knew he had washed all the clothes. It was hanging in its normal spot. I tore my closet apart looking for this blue and white striped shirt. Apart. Looking under things, thinking it fell behind the dresser, thinking it fell behind I don't know. And then finally just gave up, and I don't even know what I had on that day, or just some other blue shirt so I could wear a little blue sweater. That was it. And I just drove myself nuts looking for this shirt. So when I finally got with Lydia, she said, I snuck in your house and took your clothes. And that's all I could think. Did you take my blue and white striped shirt? Crazy looking for it.
Yes.
Turns out she did. So that was the one thing good that I'm glad I had, but ended up not wearing it because
she had 27
other outfits. So, but I think the funniest thing was when you look at the video, which I think you've already posted to the Facebook page, but or to the social media, but I was watching myself walk through Buc-ee's. That wasn't the scariest.
And I see that's the only one I saw was the one in Buc-ee's.
Yeah. Well, the strangest thing is because I didn't see any of them, and she's filming me for what 5 minutes before a couple of minutes before y'all.
Well, we
And
had disguises.
you did have disguises, which
Yes.
Melissa had this weird hookers like
Red fire
wig,
engine red wig.
and Lydia had a gray old lady wig, and then Judy had on some sort of mask with a rubber nose on it, like very Groucho Marx. And you'd think that we would be
That would give it away.
Yeah, that would give it away. It would be obvious that somebody would be going and that I'd catch on, but
I mean,
did
we
not
walked
catch
into a
on.
public place like this, and I care way too much about what people think about me, and I had to do some soul searching, but I did it. I was brave, and I was like, you know what? Everything is content.
Yeah. Well,
And
I was doing my normal grab. I needed something to eat because I was hungry. So I grabbed a taco and was told, I'm just going to walk through the knickknacks because you're at Buc-ee's and you got to walk.
we knew that's where she was going to end up. So we're like huddled over there in the Nicky Knacks.
Yeah. So I turned a corner, and the next thing I know, Melissa's standing in my face in this red wig. And I told her, she goes, it took you about 5 seconds. I said, because all I could think is, who's the fool in this wig? Like, who is wearing this tacky wig in public? And realized it was her, and then was shocked. Was, I think, just completely shocked. Which turns out I'm not very good at surprises either, because I'm not good at
She doesn't like it.
gears. I don't like shifting gears.
She doesn't like not knowing what's going on. She's a little. I
like
love you.
Being in
We
little
controlling.
I know. Yeah. You're not telling me anything I don't know.
Well, she said she didn't like that about Dwayne either, like, because Dwayne didn't tell her where they were going.
No,
so she was all in, verklempt about that.
It was very sweet, and it was very special. I just didn't like it.
We thought she was mad, like.
No,
and
I was not mad. The problem is that my brain, the way I think my brain works, my brain is processing what's the steps. So I'm very strategic in thinking about what's the next step, what's the next step, what's the next step. So as we're driving to Buc-ee's, it's like, okay, we're going to get to Buc-ee's, we're going to do this, and you got to pay attention where you go next, because you're right there on 45. You could go one way to Madisonville, one way up 45, one way the other way. There's a 3-way stop there. My brain's thinking, okay, which way are we going to go? What city's next? Where are we going to end up? And then it's like you're getting in a whole nother car with whole other crazies, and you got to go a different direction. So my brain, I think, was just processing what was next, because I think Melissa was afraid that I was disappointed, and I wasn't disappointed at all. It's just
so we talked all the way
brain
up there.
just doesn't do well with not knowing what's going on. It was.
So had Dwayne already left the store before you saw them?
No.
Oh, okay,
he
was there.
Yeah, he was there. Yeah, so
we thought about like him abandoning you. That was one of the scenarios.
Yeah, that's
of him just
heard.
leaving you at Buc-ee's and giving us the bag, and you just wandering around, like go into the bathroom, and him just leaving you, and us being there to like kidnap you and rescue you. That was one scenario.
He didn't like that, did he?
No. Melissa was going to put a pillowcase over your head and drag you out, and then I was like, but I was like, well, first off, I think Dorcas will be more mad that Dwayne just let it happen, standing beside you.
Yeah,
I think that would be a problem.
Well, the other thing is that she's not strong enough to do that.
I know, right? You like kick her butt right there.
I'm pretty big. I could fight my way out of that one. And then I'd the whole time be thinking, I'm in the middle of Buc-ee's. There's 4,000 people here. Who's not noticing?
I know. Like security.
I'm thinking she could get hurt in the process.
Yeah,
she could have got hurt.
What's so funny, like a couple of things leading up to this. A couple of weeks before this, I had to steal Dorcas's court crown. Like we have these crowns made out of wine corks from a couple years ago at the river. And so Missy wanted me to steal it and bedazzle it more so that hers stood out. And I needed to get it. So like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I went over to the house like on Sunday when we were doing whatever. And like I go in the house and I immediately go to Dorcas's office because it was supposed to be in there. And I'm walking on Dorcas.
I don't know. You said the other day it's never been in my office.
I thought it was on your shelf at one point.
No, since the day we come home, I put it in the bathroom. It's been on that little candle, which surprises me. I didn't notice that was gone.
Didn't notice.
No, I didn't notice that was gone.
I thought it was in your office. So I'm kind of meandering around her office, kind of like, and where I'm sitting in the office, Dwayne can see down the hallway, and he's sitting in his chair, and he can see me, and he goes, "What are you doing?" Kind of really loud, and I was like, "Shh." And I was like, "Be quiet, bro, be quiet." And so I go outside, I'm looking. So, and Dorcas at that point is like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I'm just on my phone. I'm just on my phone." So the lies started weeks ago. And I was like, I'm on my phone or whatever. And she goes, "Okay." So she goes back to the cooking in the kitchen. And a little bit later, I think you went to the bathroom or something. And I told Dwayne, "I need her crown. Where is it?" He goes, "It's in her bathroom." He goes, "She's going to notice if that's gone." I was like, "But I need it." And so like that was, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go get it in a little bit. I'm going to stick it in my bag. We're just like, I don't remember what we were doing that day. I think we were just having lunch or something and just kind of cahoots. And then later on, we're standing in the kitchen. You're in the kitchen doors. Your back is to us. And Dwayne is looking at me and he goes, unlock your car. So I've got the key fob and I've got my arms crossed like this. And I'm literally standing here talking to Dorcas and I'm right at the window in the kitchen. And I'm like, beep, 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 just kidding here hitting the key fob while I'm talking to you. And just hitting it, trying to unlock the car. And then he just goes into the bathroom and he just picks it up and he goes out the garage and he goes and he puts it in my car. And then he comes back in like nothing happened. And he was just like, he kind of goes back and he just gives me a head nod. He's like that. And I was like, all right, we're good. So that. And then the morning, I get to Missy's house at like 6:15 in the morning and we're leaving at 7 because we got to be ahead of him. And we pull out right at 7 from Missy's mom's house. And we're right there on the big main fair, like right there at the Beltway. And we're talking about, I'm trying to talk your girlfriend off of the ledge, Dorcas, because she's so convinced that you know, and Melissa, she doesn't know anything, I swear. And what happens? My phone rings and it's Dorcas's face right here in the thing. And it's one of those comic things like from a movie because about like the phone is coming in and out of my hand and I'm trying to hand it to Melissa because I don't know what to do. I was like, why would she be calling me at 7 o'clock in the morning? Like, what the hell? And I'm like, Missy, she goes, I can't. It's like, and so I don't know what to do. So Melissa can't function either. So Melissa pulls into a gas station because she can't drive at this point. She's too flustered to drive. That Dorcas called me. So I answered the phone. I was like, hey, good morning. Or, whatever. And Dorcas like, what are you doing? And I, for the life of me, could not come up with a better excuse than I'm going to an estate sale across town on a random Thursday morning. And sweet Dorcas, she goes, oh, okay. And I was like, I could have said I'm going to Walmart. I'm going.
Said you were at home. I've known that different.
Because my location was turned off because I'm stealthy like that still. So yeah, and Melissa's looking at me and Judy's in the backseat going, states? I was like, I don't know. And Doris was just asking me something about the podcast or whatever. And Melissa's like, why is she calling?
Yeah, I was working.
I don't know. And we finally got off the phone with Dorcas and Melissa looks at me, she's like, in a state sale? I was like, I have nothing. I had nothing. Like, what if she came by randomly for the first time ever at 7 o'clock in the morning and I wasn't there? I needed a reason why I wasn't at the house.
Yeah. Well,
And
I
then-
don't know that I thought anything was. I don't think I
Afoot?
suspected this. I did suspect that Melissa knew more than what she was telling me because she has a tendency. Her tale is she tells you more information than you need. Like we talked more often than we normally do leading up to it. She asked more questions than she normally does. And then she does this high-pitched thing with her voice, which is such a tale. He's fine. I think you're going to have a good time with him. Y'all are going to have fun, But it's
Only dogs
high-pitched.
can hear her kind of thing.
Only dogs can hear her talking, and it's just very high pitched. It really is. I had lunch with a coworker the day before, and she was asking me, "Did I find out what we were doing?" And I said, "No, I don't know." I said, "I think something else is up too, because just so my best friend has these little tales, and she just is, very a lot more engaged with things, and then her voice goes really high when she knows stuff, but she don't want you to know she knows, but she knows, and she knows, but." So it is a pretty funny tale that I had thought something else might be up, but I just thought I really did honestly think she just knew more than what she was telling me.
You didn't know she was involved. You never suspected she was involved.
I really didn't suspect that it was anything other than we were going out of town and he and I were going to spend the weekend together somewhere. But yeah.
And I said that. I told the girls, I was like, God, I really hope she's not disappointed that she's not spending a romantic weekend with Dwayne. Like, what if she was looking forward to some romance and we just ruined it? She's going to be like, oh. Okay, I guess I'm going to with y'all to Fredericksburg. That's cool.
Well,
Yeah.
you did.
What if she
you
shaved
did
her
really-
legs?
Yeah. Well, you did really good going to the Beth, or celebration
Mhm.
with turning off your text in the car.
Who, me?
You, yeah, because you told everybody to go dark, go dark.
Oh,
You never told
Yeah.
you didn't tell her about that.
I did.
Yeah,
The-
she did tell me that.
The weekend before we went on this, unfortunately, our aunt had passed away, one of Mom's sisters that we've talked about, and her celebration of life was that day, and Dorcas was going to be in my car with me as we drove out there. It was like a 2-hour drive to where we were going. And like I said, I get daily text messages from Melissa about this thing. Daily text messages. And so we're driving in the car, and I have to go to FedEx first or the UPS store first, and then we're going to go to HEB. And I get a random text about something, and then I immediately like flash to like Melissa texting me, and it comes up in my car, like the screen on in my car. And I immediately was like, oh God, oh God, oh God, please don't text me, don't text me, don't text me. Because why would Melissa be texting me?
Yeah.
Why? There's no reason for Missy to be texting me. Dorcas would see it. And so I get to FedEx. I'm like, Sissy, just stay in the car. Just stay here. I'll be back in a minute. I'll be back. So I go into UPS and I immediately like start like voice messaging like to Missy, our group chat. I was like, okay, ladies, do not reply to this. Do not acknowledge this. Dorcas is going to be with me in the car all day long, and you can't text me about anything because she will see it. Go dark, go dark. And I pushed send, and I was like, okay. And they did good. Nobody responded, nothing. It was complete darkness for the next like 6 hours. I was like, oh, good job, guys, good job. And then I got home that night. I was like, okay, guys, we made it. I dropped Dorcas off at the house. We can talk about this now. We're good.
I will
Take
say
it
the
very seriously.
other funny thing was finding out that y'all had to tell the Buc-ee's manager that y'all were going to be there because you got 3 idiots in costumes, 2 in a wig and 1 in a Groucho Marx mask.
We look like we're robbing the place.
Yeah, they had to find the manager. So it was funny after they, we kind of settled in and I figured out, that they were there and that we were going somewhere else. The managers were so sweet. They all came up and were like, oh my God, happy birthday. We love that this happened here. We've been waiting for you to get here. And, they were just incredibly nice and funny. And, really was just a good sport about the whole thing. So
well, you were a good sport about it.
We did draw some attention, some people passing.
Yes. Looking like an idiot. We were walking, and you can hear me on one of the videos when we were walking, and I'm telling Melissa, I was like, don't make eye contact with anybody. Just keep walking. Put your head down and keep walking because we look like ass. We look like jerks. That's what we look like. We look like those jerks. So we get her all on board. The surprise, and I think she saw Missy, and then she saw me, and then she saw Judy, and she goes on the video, she goes, it just keeps getting worse. She goes, it just keeps getting worse. And it took a few minutes to get her settled in to the idea, but Missy still wouldn't tell her where we were going. We just put her in the car. Yeah. And she just had to go.
It did become obvious though once you you drive for what felt like 10 hours from where we were, and drive into Fredericksburg. I just looked at Melissa and I said, "Are we going on a wine tour?" And she goes, "What gave it away?" I was like, "I don't know, us idiots in Fredericksburg. That's probably what gave it away." So we did have a wine tour weekend planned, and we did get to the house, and then another friend of ours was there, Angie, who has also been on the podcast, and they had decorated the house beautifully, and it was just really such a sweet surprise. I got all verklempt because they had pictures, balloons in the house with all my favorite pictures of family and friends printed out on these balloons. So, and all over the house, little frames of all my kids and just all these framed pictures just all over the house. So it was really, really sweet and such a nice effort. So I started crying when I got to the house part, because it was really special. And part of that is because I know how much effort it takes to plan events and how much money it is and how expensive it is. And I know, how obsessed Melissa gets with details. So that people really put in a huge effort, and it was a little bit overwhelming. So I did cry a little bit, but I got over it.
It was lovely.
No, it was a great time. And I think I crossed off something off my bucket list that I didn't realize was on my bucket list until our driver on Saturday, her name was Flora, and she said, they took us to a certain winery, and she said, you need to know that at this winery you can sword a champagne bottle, which didn't know that was something I wanted to do in my life, but it turns out it was something I wanted to do with Moxie and Gusto, because when they
after many, many glasses of wine, let's give Sissy a saber.
That was a little challenging, but the little the guy, I think his name is Justin, at it was High Winery, which was a beautiful. Oh God, Mom, the grounds were gorgeous. Really? Just these gorgeous room, and then they opened up the doors because we were like, "Can you open those doors?" There were these big ladies. He goes, "Sure," and he opened them up, and just beautiful grounds, and it was just a stunning place. And we were the only ones there because it was early on a Friday morning, but they were just super attentive, so much fun, and we just laughed and had such a good time. But then he did say that I could sort a champagne. What is it called? Is it called sorting a champagne?
I don't know.
Sorting
it's playing with sharp objects
and glass.
And glass after wine.
But he did. He taught me how to do it. And I just, in one swoop, just swooped that champagne bottle and took the top right off.
It was really yummy.
And then I went and wrote that on a bucket list and, checked it off. I was like, I never thought I'd do that. So I did just sent Dwayne the video, and I said, just so you know, this is how we're now opening champagne for the rest of our lives. I said, I just ordered a sword off Amazon. He was like, do not order a sword off Amazon.
Too late.
And do not drink out of the bottle.
Yes.
Exactly.
You'll cut
Don't
your
do
lips
that.
off.
Yes, you will apparently cut your lips. I did cut my finger, and then Lydia, mine's a little cut, but Lydia sliced hers pretty good
Yep.
on the bottle.
And the only first aid kit we had like a couple of little band-aids. I'm like bleeding. I like dripped blood. I mean, if you know, Melissa cleaned it up. I was dripping blood all over the freaking floor of the Airbnb because I was trying to get into the house, and it was just ridiculous. We have a couple of little band-aids and one little gauze, and Dorcas up there lining them up, and I'm like, it's like, sorry to ruin your party, sissy.
Nicked mine's not too bad.
Yeah, she got a little cut.
But yeah, it turns out the bottle is sharp.
Yes.
So you want to be careful of that if you take that up in the future. But I highly recommend learning to sword a champagne bottle. So y'all don't be surprised if I'm doing that at Christmas now.
The video is on our social media. It's on TikTok. I think it's on Instagram and Facebook. So go look at Sisters.
Yeah, I did get to sword it. So that was pretty fun. It's not something you do every day, and never, like I said, not something I thought I wanted to do. But turns out it did. So it was a lot of fun. And I brought home the cap and a doll. So anyway, the sorting thing was pretty spectacular. It was fun and exciting because it's probably not as impressive as people who do it all the time.
Well, I was impressed.
But for me, I was impressed.
Your mama was really impressed. I'm so proud.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. And we just, finished out the day at the wineries, and we could not have had a more perfect, beautiful day. Like the weather we've had, in Houston it's just been so gross, and the weather was beautiful for 2 days. Perfect temperature. You couldn't ask for better, time just to sit outside. And I think we ended up going to 3 different places. The first and the third one were just, the staff was great. People were just so nice and so accommodating and so sweet, and really just enjoyed the day. It was beautiful. So I was grateful for that. And then we went and had a steak dinner and went home and went to bed. It was just...
Sissy fell asleep on the couch.
I did. Well, we got new jammies. So the fact that I took 2 pairs of jammies and Lydia packed me like 2 more pairs of jammies didn't matter because I got new jammies and I got a new t-shirt, which is the other thing. Didn't need to take the 45 shirt that I made because they made me matching t-shirts, of course, because that's our MO is new jammies and new t-shirts. So matching t-shirts. Because like Melissa says, if you don't have matching t-shirts, are you even really in a gang?
Yeah,
are you really even on a team? So we all have matching shirts. And then I think the next day we just did some kind of shopping down Fredericksburg.
Yeah.
Just kind of hit up all the little stores, along the
main street
there, and then went over to Lugenbach because I don't think Missy had ever been to Lugenbach. I don't think you'd ever been there, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So went over and checked that out, which is it's not what you think it is. I think I think you were saying that too, right? You were not really sure.
I didn't know what to expect in Lugenbach, Texas. I figured it was like a big area. It's literally a dirt
it's like
road.
A music venue, basically.
Yeah.
It's just a music venue. Anyway, there was some great music playing, and it was, again, a beautiful day. We're just sitting out there listening to somebody play music. But
the town's literally like the size of my house.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you just kind of pull in, and there's like people on a stage, and they have their post office, and you do all that. But I don't know what I ever thought. I guess I thought because it had a song with Waylon and Willie and the boys, I assumed it was going to be like, we're going to go to like, I felt in my head it was going to be more like going to Green.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just bigger and, whatever. But no, it's literally like a dirt road, and it's like a circle. It's like a cul-de-sac, and you pull in, and there's the post office, and there's the bar, and there's the stage, and that's it.
Yeah. It really
I ain't judging
it's just a venue where people go to hang and listen to menus.
Yeah.
So it was, like I said, it was a beautiful day. Met some crazy characters there while we were there. And then ultimately went back to the house, I believe, 6? I think
not
6
earlier.
or so. And everybody put on their matching jammies, and we're sitting with our wraps, because these stupid pink wraps that Lydia's got it on now. These big fluffy wraps, and watched, were we watching Food Network?
Yeah, we're watching the Food Network.
No, we watching movies. We watched 2 movies.
We watched Working Girl twice, because it was back. It was all the Oscar movies. It was
something else, and then it was
Working Girl.
Working Girl and something else.
Something else was on before. Whatever was on, it was like a. So it was. They were playing all the Oscar.
Yeah, but I never watched Working Girl with Melanie Griffith.
Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah,
and Harrison Ford looking all hot. Yeah, love it. And Sigourney Weaver's supposed to be 29 in that movie. Bull crap.
Yeah.
I call bull crap on
We,
that. Yeah.
but we just watched 2 old movies, and then everybody kind of trickled off. Melissa went to bed, Judy went to bed, Lydia went to bed, and then me and Angie napped it out and went to bed. We just kind of went to sleep by 10
Dinner
o'clock.
consisted of potato
Oh, yeah.
chips,
Yeah, we just threw food on the
trail
table.
mix, some cheese. It was just the most.
Powdered chocolate and powdered donuts, like just handfuls of whatever you wanted to eat. So yeah, all in all, it was a good weekend. It was
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Good time to just hang out with your
It
girlfriends.
really was just the time to like I said, I wasn't expecting it because I was expecting to do whatever, go wherever with Dwayne, and usually we have a good time and enjoy it. So it was kind of good it felt good in the end to just sit with your girlfriends in your pajamas and your wraps. For me, that's like the ultimate way to kind of reset. And I wasn't feeling like I needed a reset, but I feel good. So it was all in all a lot of fun.
That's so important, having that reset, mental, physical, whatever.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's I think that's something that women do well, whether it's in that setting or if it's in, or I hope other women do it well. I think we do it well. I hope other women do that well, whether it's that or, even just the weekend before, getting to see all my cousins and
Right.
sit with them. To me, that's the same type of thing where it's just that reset to kind of sit with your people, and recharge and, I don't know, just kind of remember who you are in the hustle and bustle of every day, in our jobs and our families and our, work and, just the day-to-day stuff. It feels good to just kind of sit and go, oh, that's who I am. I can sit with my
It's the
cousins around a
reconnecting.
fire. Yeah.
It's the reconnecting. And even if we, and it seems this way, that when we get together like that, it's usually around a funeral or a celebration of life.
It has been lately.
So yeah, or lately. And that's what I told everybody, look, we got to get together when there's not someone already passed away,
Yeah.
we really need to. So let's plan that one.
How was your weekend,
work on
Mom?
a team effort. On my weekend,
we need to, if we're going to do it, we're going to need a committee. Yes.
Yeah, I started saying we need it's a team effort.
Yes.
And so
divide and conquer.
We'll have to see who we can get together.
How was your
I'll
weekend,
get on
Mama?
that.
What did you
My
do?
weekend, it was nice. We were just celebrating our anniversary at the church, our 29th anniversary at the church. So it was decorating tables and cooking and serving and all that. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of work. So y'all had way more fun than I did.
But how many of y'all in there, a group of y'all that do that together?
To the
that you were cooking with, or was it just you cooking?
Well, all the ladies cooked and brought food and all that. I just go overboard sometimes, so me.
Yeah.
Since I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a wonderful weekend.
Yeah.
With
now, see, those are the conversations we need to film. Is y'all sitting around y'all sitting there cooking? What are the conversations that happen there?
Yeah, well, some of ours is about all our aches and pains.
Yeah.
And some of it is bathroom talk, okay?
Yeah.
But it's people we love and people we enjoy being around. And we do have a good time. I tell the ladies, that's the one. That's how we like it,
Yeah.
And I think the effort to clean it all up and the people that hang around doing the dishes and all that. So that's, like you said, we're like a pack of locusts, you know. And also we did fun. Like I said, there wasn't no wine involved, That
would make the parties more fun.
I know. No, but we did. It was nice, but it was fun to watch them surprise you, baby.
Yeah.
And it was, oh my God, look at that. So
we didn't mention it, but
did well.
Missy also had everybody in the family, wasn't it that we can send videos to Sissy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was hard. That was.
Mom, you want to talk about, you got really emotional.
I got very emotional. Well, I'd been emotional, and all that. But when I got to thinking about my baby turning 50 years old, it was like that. It was harder to see you turn 50 than for me to turn 50. It didn't bother me.
Yeah.
When I turned 50, I was comfortable with being 50. I was happy to be 50. But when you hit 50, I'm thinking, oh, sweet Jesus, So you got there way faster than I
70.
was. Yes. So, yeah, I thought about that. And I was trying to, I had more of a message, but when I paused, Daddy jumped in,
Yeah.
So he said what I thought I would say. So that's the truth.
Yeah. Well,
So
no,
it got
those were
here.
all really, really sweet, and I got really choked up.
Oh, I did.
There's a couple of them I couldn't even get through. I just went, nope, 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 I can't look at them. Can't look at them. Sorry, can't do it. I'm gonna cry. So I do need to tell Melissa to send me those. But yeah, no, that was very sweet. It was a lot of fun. It felt like having everybody there. So it was super fun. It was really good. I'm glad it's here. I feel like it's passed. It's celebrated enough, and I'm ready to move on.
Yes.
I kept saying to you, you said we didn't do anything on your birthday. No, not. I was not sad at all. I had a great birthday, and everything was just perfect. So I could not have asked for um, more fun. I felt really loved and really cared for from beginning to end. My birthday was 2 weeks ago, but just felt a lot of love from my family. I just know I could die tomorrow knowing that I was loved by my parents, I was loved by my siblings, that I had really great people that cared for me and loved me. And the other thing I was thinking about on the way home was the amount of, because we do this a lot. Like we do this with our river trip. We do this with the ornament party. It's just the Nutcracker market. Like we do so many things during the year where it's just we're going and doing these elaborate, matching shirts, matching jammies, overnight stays, just it's stupid. Like our husbands, I was thinking about in between Dwayne and Darwin and Jody's husband and Jared, I know that Darwin was the one that looked up the house really, and because he's a planner and he likes to make sure that the reviews are good and that the location is good, and so I know that he was really involved. So these poor men that get sucked into this time after
They just
time
go,
after
okay.
time, they just I come home and I was like, I got new jammies and a new shirt, and Dwayne's like, of course you did, and every year ordering new Christmas shirts to go to the Nutcracker Market and new this or new that, how grateful I am that even our spouses who don't want to deal with this crazy do it and are so, kind to most of the time, pick us up and drop us off. We're like Jody had to drive to Melissa's to pick all three of us up, and I put all the stuff in his car, haul us all the way back to Judy's house to get in Lydia's car so we could drive all the way home. Dwayne had to drive to Madisonville to drop me off.
Which is so
by the
funny
way, I
because
know.
we had a whole conversation on the way between Madisonville and Fredericksburg about he didn't want to mess up the ruse of them going towards the ranch, but he could have easily said not telling her where we're going, and then met him in
yeah, there were two other Buc-ee's we could have met at that would have been 2 or 3 hours closer than where we
really?
met. Yeah, because
but we didn't want to mess up the ruse. So we drove to Madisonville to turn and go 5 hours the other way to go to Fredericksburg because we're idiots.
An hour and a half this way to go that way because it was on the way to the ranch, which actually worked out for Dwayne because he went on to the ranch.
Yes.
And went and filled feeders for turkey season. So it really worked out in his favor, I think, better than it did for us. I kept telling Melissa, you could have told him to meet us in Buc-ee's in Katy or in Bastrop, because that's essentially where we came when you're cutting from Madisonville this way. You have to come up through College Station and cut over to Bastrop. I was like, he literally could have been the one to meet in Bastrop and then him cut back. We took the 2 hours.
We were in the car for like 9 hours on Thursday. It was the longest day.
It was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous, but it was
that's
worth
a
it.
long trip. Even I don't like 9 hours in the car.
Yeah, no, it was
I mean,
a lot.
road trips. I'll take a road trip, but 9 hours.
Yeah.
It was long.
It was a lot, but it was fun, and it's that time in the car where you're just laughing and talking and cutting up, so it was worth it. But yeah, so I am really grateful for not only just the people in my life that make an effort. I think that's the thing, is that when we're with each other and making an effort to do things for each other, that's refreshing, and fills your soul.
Yeah.
We've had so many little things happen, and like I don't know, just different things that I've been dealing with emotionally, and it just, when you get stuff like this, it does fill your bucket back up and feel like you can live to fight another day.
Yeah.
So, and I am grateful for all of my friends and family, and just the Facebook posts alone, that people that you went to high school with 100 years ago still say happy birthday. I got my annual card from Aunt Patsy. I'm 50 years old, and my Aunt Patsy sent me another card. Y'all. I mean, I really do wish I had one from had of my entire life, because she is the person. It literally says happy 50th birthday.
That's Aunt Patsy.
My sweet Aunt Patsy sent me another card, so it'll sit here for a year, because I think her other one I took it down when I replaced the calendar, but it was sitting up there. But yeah, so you do feel loved and grateful for people, and like I said, you feel like you could go and fight another day. So I hope that I hope other people feel that way. I hope that people feel like they are loved and cared for in some way. It doesn't have to be your birthday, but or I hope that's what people do for each other. Like if you're not doing it, you should.
Hopefully it
It's
inspires somebody to just
Yeah.
make somebody's, what do they call it? It's that old fish thing, like make somebody's day.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
can you make somebody's day today? You know, in a simple way. And
You don't have to
singing,
kidnap them.
yeah, I mean, and we're
That's
ugly,
ridiculous.
yeah. But I think seeing the way that Missy just loves you in that obsessive way, and because I told Dwayne more than once, like your wife's girlfriend is gonna go crazy. Like she's, I told her, you need to get your wife's girlfriend in line because I don't know what to do with her. And if she couldn't get a hold of me, like if she called me and couldn't get a hold of me, she would immediately call Dwayne.
Yeah.
And I was like, she yours today, boy. I got meetings. So
But Dwayne said I've talked to Melissa more in the last 2 months. She's calling to tell me. Okay.
Melissa,
Yeah.
bless her.
Well, she's that friend that's always there.
Oh,
It
yeah.
don't matter. She's always there.
Yeah, she's
I
She
mean,
can ride or die.
We don't even have a Christmas or a Thanksgiving that somebody didn't say, well, is Missy coming? Is Missy coming?
Oh, yeah.
You know,
So I told her she's an
so
honorary cousin. She should be coming to
she
these
is.
funerals.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. For sure. So she's just always there for emotional support. That's what she is. Emotional support.
Yeah.
You know, it's that mental wellness.
Yeah.
You know.
And the
So
funny thing is
she's-
that she was telling Darwin, her husband, because we just got to see each other this weekend. So that was Sunday. Today's Monday. Tomorrow's Tuesday, and she and I are going to the rodeo. And then, so I'll get to be at their house tomorrow night, and then we're going to the rodeo. And then on Friday, we're all going to the weekend. We're going to spend the weekend together. She was like, Darwin, you get to see Dorcas 3 times this week. He was just like, yeah, okay.
So I was like, yay.
3 days, bub. You get to see me 3 times in 1 week. That's amazing. Yay me.
And they just spent 4 days together, and then you got another 3 next week, and then the 4. So that's like 4, 5, 6, 8 days. And Melissa and Dorcas could still turn around and do it all again next week.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't face them.
I texted Melissa today, and she said we're leaving at like 3:30 tomorrow, and whatever. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, I miss you. She goes, I know it's been like 24 hours. I was like, yeah.
And they're gonna hug tomorrow like they hadn't seen each other in a month.
Yep. So anyway, but
It's
it
all
was a
good.
weekend, and I'm grateful
Yeah.
for it. So I just hope that people are, kind of inspired to, like I said,
Go kidnap your best friend from a
y'all
Buc-ee's.
go have matching T-shirts. I guess that's something too that I've wanted to do the last couple of years is just try to have more fun, like just want to laugh and have a good time, like really just enjoy our people and enjoy our friends and enjoy our time together. I think I want to find joy in things. So I hope that's what other people, I hope it inspires somebody else to do that, just to find the joy in everyday life, even though life is hard and, the world is crazy and politics is crazy and people are dying, all that, but just find the little pockets of joy where you can.
Yeah.
That's my 50th birthday message to people.
That's a good
find
We'll
TED
take it,
Talk.
baby.
Find
We will
it.
take
TED
it.
Talk,
Yeah.
sissy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank
welcome
you,
to Dorcas's
for
TED
sure.
Talk. There you go.
Minus 10.
Yes.
It's like a dork's top. So, okay. Well, that's all. We do have new guests. I think for the next couple of weeks, we should have some guests lined up. We're going to start lining up for April. I got some people I got to call tomorrow. Do it because we're in April. We can get the next couple of weeks lined
do
up.
it. Good times. All right. But I think this will just be the birthday-centric episode. So, Mama, do you have any final words for your 50-year-old daughter?
Nope.
As we wrap up her birthday
Just-
month that we've been celebrating for 4 weeks.
No. We're in March.
Just have a good time, baby. Have a good time.
So.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us again for the episode of The Mother You Know, The Woman You Don't. Be sure to like us on all the social medias and give us a rating on wherever you listen to your podcast. We would really appreciate it. And then also, too, just randomly, if you have a story you want to tell and you think you'd be good for the podcast, you can go to our website and email us at themotheryouKnow@gmail.com. And we would love to hear your story coming soon, too. So, yeah, have a great week, and we will be back next week with another episode. Bye.
Bye.